Blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, this is Sobretan Moses Osei of Sakodi of TRC, Ghana. Coming your way with a continuation of the expose, Testimony New World Disorder, from the Ashanti region, Kumasi, and from Ghana, the land of my birth, the land of my nativity. My home, your home, the home of the human race, Africa. Akwaba to the program, Testimony New World Disorder. And Akwaba to what to do. Before we go on what to do, let's get this briefly. What the IGP James Opon-Buenu, who colluded with terrorist network of Nana Addo Akufo Addo for willful crime covering in 2019 and got my father killed using the medical hospital. What that James Opon-Buenu, the IGP, knows, the same IGP who colluded to get my uncle killed in secrecy, what he knows is Nana Addo Akufo Addo of Ghana, the so-called president, Mahamudu Bawumia, who had put me with a terror network under total surveillance using drones against me, and in his smartness to cover up the fact that he was using drones to coordinate terror activities against me in 2017, 2019, had to quickly come up with a project of medical drones to shift the attention from the crimes. What Mahamudu Bawumia knows, what Speaker of Parliament, the then Speaker Aaron Michael Quay, what he knows is in 2019, before they killed my uncle in secrecy, exploiting my brother Samuel Sakodi, aiding the terror network with this US undercover agent. You have seen that face over and over again. You don't want to see any scary and ugly face anymore. It's okay. What they know is in 2019, between the month of October, when I got to the US, through February of 2020, they were operating a terror cell in the residence of Millicent Bongo, Germantown, Maryland, where I was a tenant. Millicent Bongo and her husband, so-called husband, George, who were from Kenya with their son, Branson. They were operating their home where I was a tenant as a secret terror cell against the American people, getting me tortured, persecuted to cover up the killing of our people. IGP James Opon-Buenu colluding with the Germantown police to cover up the killing of my father. They were using the company that I was working for as their terror base as well. When they could not contain me, suppress me, and to silence me, they had to buy the mind of my brother Samuel Sakodi to collude with a terrorist of Nana Addo Akufo-Addo's terror network called Newman. To further their agenda for the killing of my uncle in secrecy at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital after my uncle has been poisoned in secrecy. Humanity and the Nations of the World. Akwaba 2, a program, Testimony, New World Disorder. After my uncle's life had been taken, the terror cell continued to be operated in the residence of Millicent Bongo, where the lawless German town police, supported by the terror network of James Opon Buenum, Nana Addo Akufo Addo, Osla Owusu, the professional witch. You heard from my lips. If I have no right to live as a Ghanaian, if I have no human right to live, and that is acceptable by the UN High Commission for Human Rights, for me to be lynched, I don't see what human right that Osla Owusu has, that she cannot be referred to as a witch. A witch is she, who she is. Put state intelligence and technology behind Millicent Bongo. They terrorize me. Hoping to silence me from going to the White House to expose them further. When they could not silence me. Millicent Bongo, Bramson, German town police, the terror network of IGP James Opon Buenum, orchestrated with the same US undercover agent, my former spouse. They brought the police, fully armed police, into my home, launched an attack on me in a night when I had come from work. They made a fully armed police come attack me at the home one more time, 2019, before the killing of Jerry John Rawlings. They sent fully armed police. One more time, they are like they are going to war in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq. So many cars of the police come to the home in a night. Bramson, the daughter of Millicent, the son of Millicent Bongo, a matured guy who is a finance student at the university. That guy colluded with the terror network of James Opon Buenum, which was using the terror cell of Millicent Bongo to cover up the killing of Ghanaians. They were making up false evidence. As I was getting them exposed to the U.S. Justice Department, to the United Nations International Criminal Court, they could not contain me any longer. IGP James Opon Buenum, and in collusion with the German town police, come to attack me at the home one night when I had come from work. Demand that because I am bleeding, they would have to internally. They can't leave me in such a helpless situation. They are taking me to the hospital to go get treatment for my internal bleeding, which they had persecuted me and I was suffering from. They were taking me to the hospital for treatment for my internal bleeding. They are already colluded with a hospital, Holy Cross Hospital, Germantown, that when I get there, they should make up medical records against me. The police handcuffed me in a home, peacefully and weapon and violently. They were taking me to go get treatment for my internal bleeding. I go to the loo, and blood. I was suffering from my intestines were shattering. Understand? Terrorized me so much. They got to the hospital and they brought the so-called doctor. I tell him, there is an issue of crimes against humanity. There is a criminal issue that I've filed against the Germantown police for terrorizing and torturing me. The issue is before the U.S. Justice Department. It is before the U.S. authority. It is before the U.S. House of Congress. It is before the United Nations. It is before the International Criminal Court. Although the U.S. government is no signatory to the ICC. So a big cover-up is being done by the Germantown police, for which reason they have brought me here. They want you to make up false medical records against me. The police, the medical doctor got to know that he was being set up by the police. Meanwhile, they were trying to set me up to sign that I agree, that I'm willingly allowing them to get me evaluated and make up the medical records against me. I refused. I told the doctor, this is the case. It's a criminal case that the police is setting up, so I will not sign any document. The medical doctor, after listening to me for just like 3 minutes, the fact and the truth that I've told him, he just said, they were to hold me at the hospital and make up the... He just told me, you are discharged, go. There is no reason why I should keep you here, go. Ghana, I have the right to my medical record under the laws of the US. You have a right. After such discharge at the night, I had to report to the international authorities the crime that the Germantown police colluded with the hospital to try to establish medical report, false medical report against me one more time. So I had to go later to the hospital, go demand my copy of the medical records. Ghana, without any evaluation by the medical doctor, the hospital committed another medical terrorism without shame, because James Opombwenu had to get Jerry John Rawlings killed. Nana Akufo had to get Jerry John Rawlings killed, and they needed to silence me by any criminal means with a falsified medical record. So they go ahead and they executed the killing of Jerry John Rawlings. Ghana, Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings did not kill Jerry John Rawlings. I'll say it again. In the book Occupy Till I Come, I've said something. I said that when a man stands courageous, he is used by God. When a man stands courageous, he is used by God. When the politicians seem courageous, they exploit women. The feebleness, the helplessness of Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings was exploited by Nana Akufo and forces external, and they took the life of Jerry John Rawlings and put the face of Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings on the crime. What right has Nana Akufo to demand that they will not let Jerry John Rawlings' medical doctor that have treated him all his life take care of him if he is not well? If he has suddenly been taken ill, they will not let his own medical doctor treat him. Nana Akufo medical doctor should get him and inject him and kill him. So who killed him? Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings. When politicians seem courageous, they exploit women. Let my people think. Humanity and the nations of the Akwaba to the program, testimony, new world disorder. Let's go to what to do. What to do is to understand that Ban Ki-moon, the former UN Secretary General, with some clerks of the UN High Commission for Human Rights, Barack Obama, John Donald Trump, George W. Bush, Hillary Clinton, the US undercover agent, Nana Addo Akufo Addo, Mahamudu Bawumia, John Akufo. They have let down their own nation and their people. They have let down humanity. What to do is to have this understanding. What they did was willfully seeking to have gotten the human race annihilated from the planet Earth. But God has helped us. But God has helped us. No matter what, no matter how many people that have been killed. What to do is to have that understanding. They are human beings and they intended to destroy the human race. They intended to destroy the innocent Muslim, the innocent Judaist, the innocent Christian, the innocent worshippers, and those who do not worship. They exploited their positions of power and their greed for dynasty and paper money. They shared it among themselves, money, mansions, and cars. And they were seeking to destroy the entire human race. But God helped us. That is what we need to understand and do. Just know that God helped us. Let's go to Genesis. Genesis 50, 19. This is Joseph speaking. Your Excellency Joseph of America. This is Joseph of Africa, speaking in defense of the U.S. Constitution, democracy, Ghana, America, and the human race from the soil of Ghana. It will not be long, and I will be in America, just like my own people that put chains in the hands of my fathers and mothers and fetters on their feet and sold them on the slave ship. They have orchestrated, they have done everything to get me extradited. I am coming courageously in defense of the flag of Ghana and the human race, to let America know that I have not committed any crime against America, Ghana, or anybody in the human race. It is my own people that hated me and got my people killed, and they are seeking to kill me. I demand justice. America, I'm coming. I read. And Joseph said unto them, fear not, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, you're speaking to his brothers, you're speaking to diplomats, you're speaking to political leaders, you're speaking to religious leaders, preachers that collude to get their fellow human beings killed. That stand in the pulpit with weapons in their pockets, bullets and knives and guns on them. Joseph was speaking to them. But as for you, politicians, as for you, diplomats, as for you, religious leaders, ye thought it evil against me. But God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. The much people there, because God is a God of love, and he doesn't hate the Muslim, put there to save much Muslims alive. Put there. And put there to save much Judaists alive, to save much Jews alive, to save much Christians alive, to save the human race alive, to save the Ghanaian people alive, to save the American people alive, to save Europeans alive, to save the Asians alive, to save Australians alive, to save the noble African people alive. God intended it for our good. What the politicians, diplomats, and religious leaders intended to do was to destroy the human race. That is what they were doing. That is what they were doing by willfully endangering global peace, security, and stability. But as for God, He intended that same evil of theirs to stop the killing of the innocent on the nations of the world in the name of the handful Osama bin Laden, that the human race be preserved. So God intended it for our good. Let's go to Romans. Romans 8:28. I read from the King James version. Romans 8:28. I read from the King James version. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are the called according to His purpose. I will take it again. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. That is the word of God. So we cannot continue to mourn forever about the abuse of the office by Ban Ki-moon, the former UN Secretary General. They sought to get me killed with politicians, religious leaders of my nation and of America. They eventually killed Kofi Annan, the cover-up, cost him his life, cost the life of Pakwesi Ebita Atta, His Excellency, Jerry John Rawlings, John Ivan Fifi Atta Mills, and many more. His Excellency Ban Ki-moon never showed up at the funeral of His Excellency Dr. Busumuru Kofi Annan. All he could do was to make a fool with humanity in collusion with Nana Addo Akufo. Put a casket full of poop, a beanie, and I was to say, when we see soldier for UN soldiers on their shoulders at the Kotoka International Airport, covered by United Nations flag, when Kofi Annan's body was not on the soil of Africa. And eventually, they planted an empty casket on the soil of Ghana to make a fool of the world. That is Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General. Akwaba to the program Testimony New World Disorder. For years, he has endorsed in secrecy that America is under emergency. Therefore, Barack Obama can unleash all kinds of terror against me, colluding with Nana Addo Akufo and his terror network. They must kill me against every law, national and international. Before Ban Ki-moon came out of office in 2017, 1st of January, in the month of December, he had orchestrated with a U.S. undercover agent, Barack Obama, the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo. They must establish a debt of $15,552 and cripple me financially. That if I work, my income shall be taken to go settle the debt. That I will make no income. I will work as a slave because I've been sold by my own terrorist of my nation as a slave, 21st century. And Ban Ki-moon must establish that debt, $15,552, in the interest of the U.S. undercover agent. Against me, I refused, and I sent Ban Ki-moon to the International Criminal Court because he has acted criminally. Humanity and the nations of the Akufo to the program Testimony New World Disorder. They killed me. They killed my innocent children. They killed my family members. They killed my president. They killed my vice president. They killed my Kofi Annan. They killed my Ebony. They killed my Kaba. They exploited women. The Bible says that women are weaker vessels. It is true. And we must help them and not exploit them to the destruction of fellow human lives. Ghana and the nations of the world, the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the IGP, James Oponbonu, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana, Chief Justice Eni, and all the justices, the politicized national security, tribalists that have infiltrated my national police service, BNINIB, their plot, orchestration, after they have taken the precious life of my uncle, Nana Daniel Opoku Eje Sikwesi, was to go about and set the family down, set the family up, tear the family further from ever being a people. While they were torturing me and I was bleeding in US, they have cut off my fingers. I had always known they are evil against my family. But the God of Daniel was alive, and he teaches my fingers to fight and my hands to war. And how he directed me to war. I have war and I've fought a good fight. I've finished the race. Now there is laid up for me a crown, which is not only for me, but for all them that believe in his righteous appearing, that believe in the life of the African people, Asians, Australians, Americans, Africans, and all of the human race, Europeans, for all men are created equal. Asante man, I came back to Ashanti region one more time to let Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his administration, the diplomatic, religious, and political forces, Ghana Americana, know that they cannot take the love of me in my heart for the noble people of the Ashanti region and the noble people of Ghana. I came back to my family in Kumasi to let the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo know and understand. They cannot take the love that I have in my heart. God has placed it there. The God of Daniel placed it there for my family in Kumasi. They can't take it out. All their intent was to destroy the family and to tear us apart further. But the God of Daniel has continued to live and shall continue to preserve the family, because Daniel never dies. Thank you, thou blessed ones of the nations of the world. From this time forward, until God brings me back to the soil of Ghana, we do not support terrorism in America, in Europe, Asia, and Australia, on any part of the world. Therefore, we shall continue to call for total financial sanctions, abrogation of contracts between any states in America, Europe, Asia that have any contract with the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. we are annulling the contracts. We are demanding accountability. We are telling them that they have no right murdering this Ghanaian in America until I come back, God brings me back to the soil of Ghana. We shall continue to call for sanctions upon sanctions, call on the human race to resist them by any means, financial, economic, until God brings me back. We shall continue to call on the human race to get them sanctioned. They have no right to take me out of my land into a foreign land to get me go get me killed and destroyed, to cover up crimes against humanity. God is the one that has exposed them, not me. I am revising the book. Occupy till I come. I have barely about a week to appear in US. I have to finish revising the book. We are pressed against time. I would that we are able to continue the exposés in our difficult situation. I need to put my physical health in order. They have broken my arm. Before I get to US, I need to get my damaged body in order. If you are not able to hear my voice anymore, know that the mission continues. And we are going to America on the wings of God, the wings of the eagle. And God shall surely bring us back on the soil of Ghana. We shall not die, but live to declare the works of God. God has proven that money, paper, is of no value than human life. They bought minds, they bought hearts, they bought people to cover up their crimes, or the shedding of the blood of the innocent. But still, they have woefully failed. His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Setitu continued to live. Daniel continued to live, though they killed him. Nkrumah never dies. Jerry John Rawlings never dies. Ghana never dies. Democracy never dies. Humanity and the nations of the world, we are in the palm of God. God bless you. And God bless my homeland, Ghana. Bye-bye. We shall not get remarried to the US undercover agent. Period. Bye-bye.